Ever noticed how ignoring a woman can sometimes drive her closer to you? It sounds counterintuitive, but there's a whole psychological effect behind it. In relationships, attention is usually seen as a currency of interest, and giving less of it can create powerful reactions. The idea of ignoring a woman to make her more interested is controversial, even manipulative, but it taps into human psychology in ways that aren't immediately obvious. In fact, the less accessible you are, the more her mind tends to focus on what she's missing. It's an unsettling reality, but ignoring someone can often spark stronger feelings than constant presence and affection. This might sound risky, even ruthless, but many men have unknowingly triggered attraction simply by withdrawing attention or being less available. Think about it. In most social dynamics, we're drawn to people who are just out of reach, who don't make themselves easily available. For some, this approach is natural. For others, it's a strategy, one that can completely change the balance of power in a relationship. But be warned, this isn't about playing games or manipulating emotions. There's a fine line between healthy distance and unhealthy disregard, and understanding that balance is key. Ignoring a woman doesn't mean cutting off all communication or going silent for days. Instead, it's about creating just enough space for curiosity and intrigue to grow. It's like setting boundaries that protect your individuality and avoid over-attachment. By not being overly responsive or readily available, you create an aura of mystery which, psychologically, tends to heighten interest. Women are often conditioned to read into signs, analyze behavior, and, if there's a slight inconsistency, like a missed text or a delayed response, it can pull her attention even more. But let's be clear, this isn't about manipulation or disrespect. It's about understanding attraction dynamics and why keeping a little distance can actually keep things exciting. This approach can be powerful, but it requires self-awareness and integrity. Done wrong, it can backfire. Done right, it can create a stronger connection and mutual respect. So, if you're ready to dive into the psychology behind why less can sometimes be more, let's break down the 5 key elements of ignoring a woman in a way that keeps her coming back for more. 1. Why less attention is equals to more obsession. When it comes to attraction, there's a controversial truth that few people acknowledge. Sometimes less attention actually drives more obsession. It's counterintuitive, but it's based on a psychological principle that keeps people wanting what they can't fully have. Think about it. Why do we crave mystery? Why are we drawn to things that feel just out of reach? When you give someone all your time and attention right away, it may initially seem nice, but often, the excitement fades. The feeling of constant availability can lead to predictability, and predictability leads to comfort, not passion. If you want to create a deeper level of intrigue and attraction, pulling back slightly can have a surprisingly powerful effect. Imagine it like this. When you focus less on someone and don't place them at the center of your life, they start wondering why. In this small gap of uncertainty, curiosity builds. By giving less, you're sending a subtle message that your time and energy are valuable. This scarcity can make you appear more desirable, and in turn, can lead someone to think about you more frequently. The mind naturally gravitates toward things that seem valuable and scarce. If you're constantly available, she knows she can have your attention whenever she wants, which can lead to taking it for granted. By stepping back, you create a kind of mental space where she starts to miss your presence. A practical example. Let's say you've been texting with someone you're interested in, and the conversations have been frequent and fun. But instead of being the one to always start the conversation or reply instantly, you decide to take a step back for a day or two. When she realizes she hasn't heard from you in a bit, her mind starts to race. Did he lose interest? Is he busy with something more important? By giving her space, you've prompted her to think about you. This small amount of absence has created a sense of longing because now there's a gap she wants to fill. The concept can be controversial because it challenges conventional ideas of what's nice or polite. We're often told to be open and available, to show interest and to be attentive. However, being attentive without any breaks can lead to someone feeling overwhelmed or even pressured. When you're not always there, it signals confidence and self-sufficiency, 2 qualities that naturally attract others. This tactic isn't about playing games. It's about respecting your own space and time. It's about showing that you have a life outside of any one person and that you're not dependent on their attention. This independence is magnetic because it suggests that if she wants a place in your life, she needs to value it. By giving less attention, you're not pushing her away. You're creating a sense of intrigue, that makes her curious to know more. It's a reminder that attraction is often strongest when there's a bit of mystery in the mix. 2. Mastering push and pull. The push and pull tactic is all about managing attention in a way that keeps someone on their toes, constantly guessing and intrigued. It's about creating a sense of excitement and unpredictability, making sure that she never fully knows what to expect from you. This approach isn't just clever, it's powerful, even primal, because it taps into the natural human need for balance and challenge. When you master this, you're playing at a different level, one that makes you memorable in a way most guys simply don't understand. Imagine this. She gets a glimpse of your attention, enough to make her feel special, like she has your interest. But then, you step back. Not drastically, just enough to leave her questioning. This subtle shift creates a vacuum where she feels a subtle pull to seek more of your attention. The effect? She's hooked, left to wonder why you're not constantly fawning over her. The reality is, constant validation and attention get boring. When you're predictable, you're forgettable. But by keeping things in flux, you maintain an edge, a certain stoic detachment that sets you apart. This isn't about disrespect. It's about making her realize that she has to earn your full interest. The key here is control, remaining steady while subtly adjusting the level of your attention. When she's getting too comfortable, that's your cue to dial back. Show her that you're not so easily won, that you're not some open book. You're someone with depth, someone whose attention isn't handed out freely. For her, this kind of balance becomes a mental challenge, making her want to uncover what lies beneath your calm, controlled demeanor. In doing so, you shift the dynamic. You're not chasing. She's intrigued. This approach might be seen as dismissive, even a bit condescending to some. But the truth is, women are drawn to men who aren't swayed by every emotion, who can't be so easily won over by a smile or a bit of attention. The push and pull keeps her wondering, keeps her invested, because it makes you the one thing most people aren't: unpredictable and, by extension, unforgettable. 3. The mystery effect. When it comes to keeping someone intrigued, mystery is your secret weapon. It's the art of saying less, revealing even less, and making her wonder what's beneath the surface. The reality is that most people, including women, crave answers, certainty, and predictability. So when a man introduces an air of quiet mystery, he becomes instantly unforgettable. You're not giving her the satisfaction of easy answers or laying out your entire personality for her to dissect. You're showing her, subtly but powerfully, that she has to earn the right to know you. Think about it. Most people love to talk about themselves, to be understood, to feel seen. They're eager to reveal every little detail, hoping it will make them more likable. But when you step back, when you don't feed into that predictable pattern, it unsettles her. You're not just a nice guy willing to open up at the first chance. No, you're a puzzle, a silent challenge. And that makes you far more intriguing. The fact is, people are wired to chase what they can't easily understand, what feels just a little out of reach. Being mysterious doesn't mean being cold or rude. It's about holding back, about controlling what you reveal and when. When you keep some distance, she begins to wonder, what's he thinking? Does he even care? It's a paradox. By showing less interest, by not rushing to reveal everything about yourself, you actually become more appealing. It's almost like a game, one where you subtly remind her that she can't have you all figured out. And in that quiet mystery, you're the one with the upper hand. In her mind, she might start to feel frustrated, maybe even a little challenged. But that only fuels her curiosity, making her want to dig deeper. She may even start trying to crack the code to see if she can figure you out, to see if she can make you open up more, but you don't. And that's the key, you maintain the mystery. You're there, just enough to keep her interest, but not enough to satisfy it. Every interaction leaves her with more questions than answers. Every moment with you feels like an invitation, but it's one that never fully opens. In a world where so many people are desperate to be understood, your restraint, your subtle distance makes her crave more. It's the silent message that you're not easily won, that you're not here to entertain or fill her every curiosity. And here's the twist. She may even start to resent it, start to feel like you're being mean, like you're the one who doesn't care enough to satisfy her curiosity. But that only makes you more powerful in her mind, the one who's harder to forget. In the end, it's not just about creating attraction. It's about staying a step ahead, keeping her guessing, and always leaving her wanting more. That's the mystery effect in action. 4. The self-focus advantage. The self-focus advantage is a powerful yet often overlooked principle that men need to grasp to keep any relationship balanced, especially with women. Let's get one thing straight. Constantly centering your life around a woman, worshiping her every move, or seeking her approval is a path that leads to losing her respect and ultimately her interest. Men who overly invest themselves, bending and adapting to every whim or desire of a woman, often find themselves in a position of weakness, not strength. The key to lasting attraction is prioritizing yourself, showing her that you have your own goals, dreams, and ambitions that come first. Let's be real. Too many men mistakenly believe that by putting a woman on a pedestal, she'll feel cherished and stick around. But here's the truth. It does the opposite. When you lose yourself in the relationship, you become too predictable, too available, too willing to sacrifice your own needs for hers. Women can sense when a man has lost his own sense of self, and deep down, they're rarely drawn to it. A woman wants a partner, not a follower. By focusing on yourself and staying committed to your personal growth, you naturally show her that you're someone she can rely on. Not because you're obsessed with pleasing her, but because you're grounded in who you are. Being the dominator in a relationship isn't about control or manipulation. It's about leadership. It's about having the strength to pursue your own path and inviting her along as a partner, not as your central focus. By keeping your priorities straight and knowing who you are, you project a powerful confidence that's magnetic. Women admire a man who doesn't just mold himself to fit someone else's life, but rather creates his own and invites her to be a part of it. This self-focus makes you more appealing and shows her that you don't need her validation to feel valuable. The fact is, when a man is self-focused, he automatically gains respect. You're showing her, through your actions, that you're your own person, that you don't need her to feel whole or complete. This doesn't mean ignoring her needs or refusing to support her, but rather keeping your own life, dreams, and ambitions at the forefront. If she sees you as someone who stands strong in his own values and pursuits, she'll be drawn to you more, because you're showing her that you're a man worth investing in. So, if you're the kind of guy who has always been quick to drop everything for a woman, it's time to wake up. Refocus on yourself, on your goals, and watch how your sense of independence transforms the dynamic. Remember, a relationship should enhance your life, not consume it. By putting yourself first, you create a natural attraction that makes you both confident and desirable. Self-focus isn't selfish, it's necessary. 5. Creating emotional dependency. Creating emotional dependency is a strategy that works when executed subtly, pulling her in until she feels a unique attachment to you. Emotional dependency is about crafting an experience where she feels you're someone she can't easily replace. This isn't about manipulation. It's about recognizing what makes relationships intense and compelling. By creating an emotional connection so strong that it's you she thinks of, even in silence. So how do you create this kind of attachment? Start with moments of emotional openness mixed with just enough distance. When you reveal personal, significant things about yourself, sharing pieces of who you are in an authentic way, you start establishing a deeper bond. But here's the twist. Don't give away everything. It's crucial to keep a part of yourself reserved, leaving her wanting more, so that she naturally feels the need to earn your full trust and attention. This duality of openness and restraint fuels the emotional bond, creating an ongoing sense of intrigue and desire to connect. Being her emotional anchor also means being a dependable source of support without allowing yourself to be taken for granted. Show her you're there when it matters, offer comfort, lend an ear, and make her feel genuinely cared for. But don't allow her to think that your attention is limitless or that she can simply rely on you without reciprocating. By holding back occasionally, by pulling away just enough, you create a rhythm of closeness and space. This contrast makes the time she spends with you feel valuable because she knows she can't take your attention for granted. Emotional dependency also involves creating shared experiences that she can't find elsewhere. Develop a language that's unique to the two of you, whether it's through shared jokes, inside stories, or particular ways of talking that only you both understand. This unique bond will make her see you as more than just a person. She'll feel you are part of her world. Building this emotional space only the two of you occupy strengthens her attachment, making it harder for her to imagine her life without you in it. Finally, It's important to remember that emotional dependency only works if you have strong emotional boundaries. Men often fall into the trap of giving too much, thinking that generosity will win her over. The reality is that when you give too much, you lose your value. Women are drawn to men who know how to keep certain aspects of themselves controlled, who don't need the relationship to feel whole. Letting her feel she can rely on you without completely possessing you gives her a reason to stay engaged and invested. In essence, creating emotional dependency is about balance. It's about being present and supportive, but not losing yourself in the process. She should feel like your life is enhanced by her presence, not defined by it. By maintaining this balance, you not only make her feel wanted, but also show her that you're the kind of man worth keeping close. Let me leave you with this. True control in any relationship isn't about chasing, pleasing, or even impressing. It's about creating a life so compelling that she feels incomplete without you. When you understand the psychology behind emotional dependency and control, you realize that maintaining your own boundaries and focusing on self-respect and purpose draws others to you. If she senses that your world doesn't revolve around her, that's when the obsession begins. This approach is controversial because it flips the script. No longer are you the one seeking her approval. Instead, she's the one feeling the pull. Let's face it, this isn't about following the nice guy rulebook. It's about redefining power dynamics in relationships in a way that benefits both sides. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Comment below with your experiences or questions, and let's dig deeper into what makes this work. Thanks for watching as always, and as usual, this is the masculine approach.